Welcome back to Change Agent Leadership. Today, we're driving into a topic that every leader, and I think, frankly, every human being struggles with from time to time, and that's procrastination. Whether it's delaying a tough conversation, putting off a project, or avoiding going to the gym, you decide, but we all know what procrastination is. And so let's unpack why we procrastinate, how it impacts our leadership, and what to do about it. So, why do we procrastinate? Well, let's start with addressing a common myth. Procrastination is not about laziness. It's actually about avoiding discomfort. Discomfort from not knowing where to start or fear of failure, fear of success actually is a one of them, or even boredom. The emotional discomfort drives us to distractions or delays, anything but the task itself. Here's what I found. People, myself included, generally procrastinate when tasks feel too big, too unclear, too unimportant, or too emotionally charged. And why do we delay? What happens? Well, guilt creeps in, stress builds, and ironically, the longer we avoid it, the bigger the task seems. Let's go over three simple things you can do to move out of procrastination, and then five action steps to avoid procrastination in the future. So, the first one is try the 5 minute rule. If you take only one thing away from this episode, let it be this: start for just 5 minutes. Why? Because starting shrinks the monster in your head that says this thing is insurmountable. It's a big problem. When you say, I'm just going to open the document and write for 5 minutes, or I'll clean this one drawer out, you bypass the brain's threat alarm and gain momentum. Starting changes your identity from someone avoiding the task to someone taking action. That 5 minutes can be the catalyst for you for maybe even an hour or two of work. But if you only know you have to start for five, your mind will let you move forward faster. Number two, reframe the task. Let me just give you a few mental shifts. So you want to do some reframing. The first one is move from perfection to progress. You don't need to do everything perfectly. You just need to begin. Two, change your mindset from huge to doable, right? When we procrastinate, as I mentioned earlier, everything becomes like a big deal. Well, break the task into small wins. Finish the presentation becomes open the file and outline 3 slides. Third one is move from fear to focus. Instead of asking, what if I fail, or what are the consequences of this going wrong? Ask, what is one small step I can do right now? Changing your mindset in these areas, this mental shift, will really get you going out of procrastination. And then the third one, reconnect to your why. Sometimes procrastination actually isn't about the task, it's about losing sight of the purpose behind it. Like when we disconnect from the why, the task becomes mechanical, meaningless, misaligned. It's just emotions we're going through, which causes us to delay even more. But when we remind ourselves why this task matters, how it connects to our values, our goals, or the impact it'll make, it reignites motivation. Here's what I've found in my own leadership journey. I'm more likely to act when the task feels personally meaningful. So try to connect it to something that's meaningful to you as a person. Two, even mundane work can become energizing if it serves a greater purpose. So, what is that greater purpose? List that out. And then reconnecting to the why can reignite urgency and ownership. If I understand the big picture and what's happening and the why, I can then take ownership and I can move forward. So try this. Before you start, ask the question, why does this matter to me, my team, or the people I serve? Write down your answer and keep it visible. Pull it out from time to time, and it'll help you motivate yourself and those others around you when you start feeling that procrastination sinking in. Let's go over 5 action steps to avoid procrastination. First one, name your emotion. When you're real, what are you trying to avoid? Is it fear? Is it overwhelm? Is it confusion? Naming it reduces its power. So take some time, name the emotion. So when you feel like you're procrastinating, you feel the stress coming on, name the emotion. Two, make it smaller. Shrink the task into something you can finish in 10 minutes or less. Small wins create momentum. In other words, if you've got a large task that may take hours or days, break it down into what can you complete in 10 minutes or start in 10 minutes. That's a completable project that can then motivate you into doing it longer. Three, set a timer. So use the technique of 25 minutes of focused work, 5-minute break. What that does, it trains your brain to work in bursts. So work for 25 minutes and you know you got a 5-minute break coming up. It stops that 5 hours of work that you might get locked into something. And then later you procrastinate because you're like, man, I don't have 5 hours again. Correct. You have 25 minutes and then you're going to take a 5-minute break. Number 4, change your environment. This is huge. I know this really affects people. It affects me. You really got to work on what environment energizes and motivates you. If your workspace is full of distractions, you need to change it or move, tidy it up, go somewhere fresh. I know a lot of people, my wife, for example, goes to a coffee shop, which for me, I can't think at a coffee shop, but it's a different environment. She can put her earbuds in and focus. Whatever it takes, you need to find what works for you to get you to not procrastinate. And then number 5, create accountability. This is a big one. Again, find someone you trust. Trust is the key word here, a safe person. Tell them your plan. So like, I'm going to write this outline by 3 p.m. It creates positive pressure on yourself, and then have them ask you, like not at 3 o'clock exactly, but ask you around 4 o'clock or sometime later in the day, hey, did you complete that task? Having that positive pressure goes a long way. If it's somebody safe, usually it's not your boss. Your boss can be a safe person, but someone that's safe that you can just have hold you accountable. Here's a quick leadership insight. As leaders, we model behavior whether we realize it or not. If we chronically delay or avoid hard things, our team notices and often they replicate the same pattern that we're doing. They start to procrastinate. But when we take action before we feel completely ready, we break down complex projects and we recover quickly when we fall behind, we build a culture of momentum, not perfection. Our team notices and they start to replicate those positive patterns of behavior. A final thought or challenge for you this week. Here's your challenge. Pick one thing you've been putting off. Use the 5-minute rule to start. Reframe it into something smaller and doable. Then pause and reconnect to your why. Why does this matter? What's the bigger impact? Write it down and let it drive you this week. Notice how different it feels when your actions are tied to purpose. If this episode helped you reframe your relationship with procrastination, hit like and subscribe and drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you, how you've overcome procrastination. And if you're ready to stop putting off your own leadership growth, coaching might be your next step. Click on the link in the show notes to connect with me to see if I'm a good fit for you as a personal leadership coach. I'm also adding real coaching sessions to the podcast in the near future. I'm looking for guests who want a free coaching session. So are you looking to work through a goal or a challenge, or you have a business project or whatever you're facing? If that's you, click on the link in the show notes to be a guest on the video edition of Change Agent Leadership, which is on YouTube every week. Until next time, I'm Jonathan Hankin, your Change Agent Coach. Keep questioning, keep growing, and keep leading change.